Nice, 3 games in, 2 league games and a Carabao Cup match. What are your initial reflections on the start of the season?
Well, it's been relatively positive. We were disappointed, obviously, with the result against Preston, but I think games like that we're going to have to deal with a bit more nous, if you like, and be a bit braver on the pitch, because sides are going to try and negate our strengths by frustrating us, and so it was disappointing, especially in the context of how we conceded late in the game. But of course, football can change very, very quickly, and then we've had 2 really good results. I thought the performance and how clinical we were against Oxford was really good, and we got to change a few places within the starting lineup too. So that was, I think, good for our fans to see players as well. And the win at Millwall was just a very professional performance, and one which I think showed the togetherness of the team. I think it was a very good all-round performance that if we'd have got a point, I think people would have said, yeah, it's a good fighting point, but it was better than that because we dominated the game really, but had to wait to the last minute to get the winner. It's a satisfying feeling when that happens, but of course now we have to build on what has been a relatively positive start for us.
Birmingham City at home on Saturday, potentially another full house. They've recruited during the summer. I think they play probably a slightly different style without Deeney. What kind of challenge will they pose?
Well, they've got players who can create things out of nothing. They play with a sort of a lopsided look. They have a right back who bombs on an awful lot, and in Laird, and then Dembele is very lively too, working off their left-hand side. So, yeah, they will cause us potential problems, of course, but I think they will also be aware that we have the ability to be a high-energy side in and out of possession. And I think those are the areas that we've got to just make sure that we continue with the levels of intensity that we've played with. But we're going to come up against sides who try and break up our rhythm, and I think the best way to deal with that is to try and dominate possession as well. So we've become much more accomplished at that, and I think we'll need to do that more often this season if we are going to progress in the way that we hope we do.
So it was evident on Saturday we had a lot of possession against Millwall, and certainly away from home that hasn't been something we've had in recent years. That coupled with the fitness of the squad, is that a slight shift from recent season?
Yes, and it's been the squad's continued to develop, and I think one of the main reasons for that is in this calendar year we've had 2 very positive windows of being able to bring new players into the squad who have made us a better side and have allowed us to develop our identity. And so I think we've been a good counter-attacking side for a while. We've been able to score lots of goals on transitions because we've had a combination of pace up top and a directness. And I think what we've added to now, and the players who've been here for a while, they've developed as well. And so yeah, it just means we are better placed, better equipped to be able to solve different problems. And I think that's going to be key to us being successful this year. So, already in the game against Preston, when you play against sides who make it that much more difficult, they're always a side who set up to to cause you problems. You have to find the solutions to break them down. And unfortunately, on that day, we probably weren't brave enough in possession and didn't create enough problems in wide areas for them. Normally that's quite a strong part of our game. So it just means that I think this season we will be able to find those answers during games. And of course, the squad is just stronger. I think that our 2 windows that we've operated in so far have been very positive. I'm really pleased with the players that we've added to the squad. And I'm also very pleased with how the existing players have embraced trying to get even better by, we are fitter again this year, which is very important. But, recruitment to that is key, because what we do is we identify the types of players. And so, that really is the accelerator, if you like, for progress, is being able to bring the players in that make us better.
That fitness, and I'm sure Matty James will forgive me for this, but for him to pop up and score in the 94th minute, is that evidence? What is that? The collective spirit? Is that an increased capacity to go longer, especially the added time directives?
Well, the fitter you are,
yeah,
the potentially the less mistakes you make. If you're fatigued, you're going to make more mistakes. It's like driving late at night. If you've been working all day and then you've got a long drive late at night, most people stop for a coffee at some point and have a break. It's fatigue is something that will make you make mistakes, basically. And so the fitter you are, the capacity to continue to play at a decent standard or as near to optimum is more likely. So that's the ethos to it. And also we feel that we've got lots of players who have bags of energy. And I think that's enjoyable to watch as well. I think when fans see their team working hard, I think that's I would imagine as a fan, that's something that you expect. And so the style with which we try and play is also important. And another part of that is, we've got youngsters still breaking into the squad who are going to be, for a large part, unknown quantities. But it's a really great story for us, and for Ephraim to make both his cup and league debut in 1 week is, it doesn't mean the job's done, but what it does do, it shows again that there is a realistic future for players who we produce. And I think that is good for everybody who works at the football club, because the connection with the academy is very, very important. But look, if we get both sides of it right, so if we invest in the right players that we believe we have, in this calendar year, and also produce players, then stands to reason that we'll be in a better position moving forward.
A longer-serving player, Andy Vyman, and a new one, Ross McCrory. What's the status with both?
Well, Andy's just got this heel problem. He's had it before. I suppose the best way to sort of explain that is, that there are some parts of your body that you just can't get away with not being able to deal with the discomfort. And so that's one which I think by the end of this week he will be reintroduced to training. And then so we're looking at him for the following week. So as I've said to the players many times, look, the ones who are currently unavailable, it's difficult for them because they want to be playing, but the season is so long, and we know that throughout certain periods of the season, we're going to have to make changes because players will be unavailable. So for those players who are currently not in the side, it's really important that they prepare to be in the side because we're going to need them. So, and Andy's a very versatile performer for us, and he's really, I mean, he's got such an appetite to work and do well. So we'll be glad to get him back. For Ross, it's been really frustrating for him, and you know, you can't hurry bacterial infections, and so what we're going to have to do with that is to be governed by how quickly he responds to the medication, and you know, we'll review it again to see what it looks like, but in terms of the time scale, because hopefully it won't be something that develops into something worse, and that's what we're very mindful of. And it's important in situations like this that the players' welfare comes first. So he's really frustrated because I think he's seen the game so far and thought, I could have really, you know, he could have given so much to the team, but he's going to have to get back in the team first. But you know, we'll be patient with it because it's important that he comes back ready to play for us.